Okay, so for part 2, you are going to want to print a couple things. So one is the PDF for the sine of x and for the cosine of x. They are two different things, even though they look the same. And it would also be good to print the unit circle to have that nice and handy because we're going to be transferring that onto an XY plane. Okay, so if you notice, I now have an XY plane where this is going to be my theta axis, and this is going to be my sine of theta axis. So my x value represents all the theta measures, and my y value represents the sine of theta measures. So the first thing I would like you to do is on this unit circle, write down a couple things. So one is that when I plug in the square root of 3 over 2 into my calculator, I get about 0.9. When I plug in the square root of 2 over 2 in my calculator, I get about 0.7. And when I plug in 1 divided by 2 in my calculator, I get 0.5. So those are some of the values that we need for our unit circle. And then remember that y equal the sine of x is talking about on the unit circle, sine is represented by all these y values. So I want you to take a moment and pause the video, and I want you to highlight all the y values in one color. Okay, so now I have highlighted all the y values of the unit circle. And so for each of my theta values that I have going around here, I can say that that y value is the sine of theta. So it's theta comma sine of theta. So again, this is my theta axis and this is my sine of theta axis. You might notice that this changed a little bit because my previous one wasn't the right copy. Okay, so when I take a look at this, I'm going to move this over a little bit so that we can see the unit circle. This is saying, what is my theta value? My theta value can start at 0, and that means my sine of theta value is also 0. So that starts at the origin. When my theta value is pi over 6, which is what we have here, we're going to go up 1/2. So we said that 1/2 is 0.5. So we're going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When theta is pi over 4, like we see here, my sine value is root 2 over 2, which we said is approximately 0.7. So we're going up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then when our theta value here is pi over 3, we're going to go up root 3 over 2. And so we said that root 3 over 2 is about 0.9. So here's 7, 8, 9. And then at pi over 2, the value is 1, and so 1 is right here. So you'll notice that each of these spaces is representing 1/10, right? So 1/10, 2/10, 3/10, all the way up to 1, okay? So then coming over here to this side, let's see if I can do this, there we go. Then we said at pi over 2, we're up here at 1. So then at 2 pi over 3, we're coming back down to root 3 over 2. So we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then at 3 pi over 4, that's going to be root 2 over 2 or 0.7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then over here at 5 pi over 6, we're going to be at 1/2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then at pi, we are at we are at 0. So at pi, we are right here. So we're looking so far at a graph that looks like this. Okay. So then we want to continue that graph. I'm going to move this over. And if I go to 7 pi over 6, you'll see that highlighted as negative 1/2. So that means I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. At 5 pi over 4, we're going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. At 4 pi over 3, we're going to go down. Remember, we said that was 0.9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then at 3 pi over 2, we're at negative 1. At 5 pi over 3, we're at negative root 3 over 2. So that's back to the 0.9. Where did I go over here? At 7 pi over 4, we're at negative root 2 over 2 or negative 0.7. At 11 pi over 6, we're at negative 1/2. And at 2 pi, we're back to 0. And then notice if I kept going, 2 pi plus pi over 6 is 1/2. 2 pi plus pi over 4, sorry, pi over 4 is root 2 over 2. And I'd start getting the same values over and over again. So let's see if I can graph this. Okay. So you know the rule, when you miss, you just make your point a little bit bigger, right? All right, so what this is 1 period of sine. And so then if I kept going, it would go back up, it would come back down, it would go back up, it would come back down. And then the same thing, if I went counterclockwise, it would go down and then back up and so on and so forth. So imagine if this was just a bunch of waves going up and down on both sides of this graph. So then you'll notice that our period ended up being 2 pi. That's how big of a rubber stamp I would want to buy. My domain, are there any issues with X values not being able to be plugged in? So notice I could trace this with my finger and keep tracing and never have to lift it. And so this is all real numbers. But for my range, notice the highest that we go is +1 and the lowest we go is -1 because they're talking about Y values on this unit circle. So my range is -1 less than or equal to my Y value less than or equal to +1. Remembering we're talking about that Y value representing sine of theta. My Y-intercept occurs when it is at 0. And then my X-intercepts occur at 0. Let's write this down here. X-intercepts occur at 0, and then at pi, and then at 2 pi. So then I want you to pause the video for a second and think, where would the next one be? So hopefully you're seeing it would be at 3 pi and at 4 pi and so on and so forth. So what I'm going to call that is n times pi, where n is an integer. Okay, so if n is 0, we have 0 pi. If n is 1, we have 1 pi, 2 pi, 3 pi. I could even go backwards and say that I've got a 0 at -pi, and then at -2 pi, etc. So then we've got to talk about the maxes and the mins. Where do they occur? So I notice I have a maximum here when theta is pi over 2. And I have a minimum here when theta is 3 pi over 2. So what I want you to notice is we've got a 1 pi over 2, a 3 pi over 2. So the next would be 5 pi over 2, 7 pi over 2, and so on and so forth. So I hope you're hearing n pi over 2, where n is an odd integer. All right, so in the next part, we're going to talk about cosine.